for a start, absolutely wicked. Commodore's really good to get off the line. It is a good car. Still struggling to figure out the braking and a lot of setup with it, but yeah, get in there. So this is our first race under the Maguire's Australian production cars. First time over to the Bend. This is the West Circuit, and this is the first race. We had a couple of laps of practice in the morning, which didn't go too well. I left the radiator cap loose, my bad. And then quali, we only got a couple of laps because of a crash in the front straight. So straight into the race. So we're off the back of the grid, but got a great start. But then, yeah, as you see, I was struggling into it, with the handful there. Yeah, this is just a few highlights of the race meeting. We came away with the win in V2, and we weren't last, which is great. We finished 4 races, which for a car that had only done a few shakedown laps at Collie and Wanneroo, we were pretty stoked with. Next race for us is Phillip Islands, so we're looking forward to going over there. We've changed some of the rear suspension setup, so different spring, same shock, but they've been rebuilt, Spud rebuilding for us, did a really good job there. And yeah, just looking forward to that, getting a bit more stability in the car, trying to get a bit of a handle on braking. I just wish the car had ABS. You'll see a bit later on in these highlights. A lot of it's us getting passed by the Category X and A1 cars, and you're just seeing through the corners the ABS it's just awesome, you know. Jarvis in the little V-dub in front of us, in the wet front wheel drives and four wheel drives just dominated. We got a bit better as the weekend went on. As you can see, the car's just loose. I think 1680 kilos with me in it. It's got to be 1650, I think, for category rules for an SS Commodore V2. So it's a heavy, big car. It's got good horsepower, good torque. For those that don't know, production cars are really, really controlled. So yes, it's a 6-litre LS, which is a really, really good engine. But it's stock cam. It's just rebuilt stock engine, good oiling system, no dry sump, no accumulator, no rad stuff. This has got a stock ECU that's just been tuned in a Motec dash. You're allowed to go to an aftermarket ECU, but you've got to use all your stock sensors and injectors and stuff like that. So you really can't do too much. You're not allowed any more compression. You can't pull and polish your heads. You can't pump compression up with different pistons. It really is quite controlled. All the turbo cars run boost monitors. They've got to run stock manifold, stock frame size turbos. So everything, yeah, works pretty well for that. We're on a AO50 medium tyre, which works pretty well. Damn expensive tyre, but they work pretty well and last pretty well. It's one of the BMWs catching up past me. As you can see, I'm still really squirrely. I was way too tight on that last corner. Yeah, I was way sad under brake. So we've got no ABS in this. You're allowed ABS. You're allowed to keep the factory ABS. Or if you bypass it, the ABS module has to stay there, which is this has got, which has been bypassed. And yeah, I'd give anything to have the ABS back in this car, and that's something we'll work on for next season, which means we've probably got to put a whole stock bloom in the car and get rid of the aftermarket wirings in it, which is annoying because it's quite hard to do to get all the systems to talk to each other. But yeah, the car itself, to do what it's done, stock gearbox, just a Mantic clutch from Chris. It's yeah, it's just worked really, really well. Really happy with how it's gone. Stoked with all the support we've got on it so far. So Shannon at TuneCorp, and it's his old car, but he's gone above and beyond to help us out with it. Damien spinning spanners on it. Damien did his apprenticeship at Holden back in the day, so chalk and cheese with him. He really knows what's going on with these cars. And yeah, being a production car, you don't have to run too fruitier fluids and stuff like that. So being a Penrite ambassador, that's helped massively. Yeah, just really, really enjoying the class. I originally wanted to get like a 135 or a 335 BMW, or maybe an Evo, because it's sort of cars that I really like. I had the Renault Megane before the Commodore, which is Really good car, really fun to drive. Lower category cars. You know, the RX-8s, which are a control in their own class, which are awesome when you've got a whole grid of RX-8s, but they just don't have the grunt compared to the national cars. Talked to a lot of people about what I wanted to do and where we wanted to go. And yeah, Chris Lewis with the Camaro, he was really instrumental in me getting a Commodore. But he's like, whatever you do, just get something that's easy to maintain, so you can spend the money on going to the national rounds and not be too worried about everything else that goes with being at the national rounds. And yeah, he was spot on. He was, yeah, it's made life a lot easier. It's a relatively budget-friendly package, and yeah, to do the big long 1 hour races that we do with those production cars, 4 over the weekend at the Bend, having compulsory pit stops. You don't necessarily have to do a driver change, so you can keep the driver in the car, but you have to take the wheel off, put it face down, show the screw to use your hands and put the wheel back on. So it is kind of cool. So I take Damo over here with me. I don't think I'm up to the task of driving a 1 hour enduro by myself just yet. That's where I want to get to fitness-wise. I'm working pretty hard with that. You know, boxing and fun and weights and cardio with Chris and culture, and working towards that. Because next year, the end goal is we do the rest of the national rounds this year. I really want to commit to that. And then the end goal is we go over and we do the Bathurst 6 hour next year, which would mean a couple of big long stints in the car. And that's really what I want to get to. Like, endurance racing is what I enjoy. It's a whole different style of racing. You really got to look after the tyres on the car. You got to look after the brakes. It's a different mindset, and you got to be conscious of who you're competing with as well. What battles you take on. And Damo and I got a head around that pretty quick. And the level of driving at the Australian production cars just blew me away. You know, we had the one crash in qualifying, which is unfortunate. Really sad to see. And then I think we had one yellow in the second race, which helped us out a bit, where one of the cars went off, and they recovered it real quick. Like, I think it was only 2 laps we lost. And then the last race, the only yellow we had was when the Evo went off, ran out of fuel. So yeah, really cool, and enjoy the challenge. We're really lucky over at the Bend. We had a good pit crew. So I had Miles, he's a SA local sports sedan competitor. I've known him for a while. Really good guy. Does a heap of work behind the scenes of sports sedans over there. We had Danny Probert, who is a really good friend from Darwin. He now lives in South Australia as well. So Danny's an XD drift guy, massive fabricator, and just been a mate for years. He's really instrumental in me getting back into motorsport. So when we moved to Darwin, brought an S14, went drifting, fell in love with motorsport again, and thanks to Danny, he was a big force behind that. So I'm really stoked with that. And then we had these 2 guys from TAFE. So through a couple of mates, got hold of the TAFE guys in South Australia, and those 2 young guys who were absolute rippers. I recommend every race meeting, if you need crew, bring up the TAFE and see if you need friends mechanics and get the time. They were just so good. We also had Aaron Semner for XLs. I stayed with them a night. Really good mate of Matty Holes, and we had Damo getting squirrely as there. So yeah, no, just had an awesome time, and kick back, enjoy, watch the rest of it, and I look forward to getting one up to the Bend from Phillip Island, and having a bit more in it. can see, it got really, really dark in that last race. This is the next race. I had some issues with the GoPro for the last two, but this is Saturday morning. Damo started the car because I'm an idiot and left my gear in the back of the ute. And we had to send one of the young tape guys to go get a brake clearing tool because we had a brake leak on the master cylinder, so we had to fix that. Damo got a ripper start again. Commodore was awesome to get off the line, just really, really good. And Damo ran really clean, so with the data on the dash, Miles was really awesome at teaching us how to read the Motec, plug it in after each race, go over that sort of stuff. And yeah, so I was, even though in that wet race my driving was a little bit leery, I seem to have a bit of better throttle control than Damo, but he's miles better than me under brakes. So watch this. So here you come around this turn 3, this turn 4 is sort of like a kink when you tie the horn up and take it sort of flat. And then there's like a hairpin where you come onto what is the west circuit. I think it was this lap, or it might be it was another lap yesterday. Damo struggled with the hairpin. Oh, this one here, watch this. I don't know where he's going. Lucky all the competitors are just so good, you know, like the Bianchi guys, they knew he was over-committed to that corner and just let him go, and then got the place back. Once we get the setup a bit better, like in the later races, we could have a decent battle with the Beamers. Didn't quite have the corner grip that they've got, or the braking. They're just awesome when it brakes. I don't know if it's the stability, traction control, the combination, the bigger brakes they run, whatever, but they just work really well under brakes, whereas we're still pinching tyres, having to be really cautious with it. A lot of that's the weight of the Commodore, which I think will get sorted out. With the stiffer rear end, the car won't, you know, the car really moves a lot, which is something we did struggle with for a lot of it. But I think once we get that sorted out, hopefully Phillip Island, bigger flowing track, might help us a bit more. Yeah, we'll see how we go. But yeah, no, Damo, and first time he's driven the car, he only had a couple of laps in it, chucking him for a race start. He's a ripper, man. It's a testament to how good a driver he is. Shannon at TuneCorp, just going above and beyond. Customer service is unreal. Penrite Oil, been a brand ambassador for them, and really stoked with the support. Chris at Culture 24/7, amazing gym, amazing guy. Damo at DC Autos, forever spinning spanners on the car, can't thank him enough. And of course, Luxe Performance.